Dr. V. I want to get a couple. Can you hear us, Dr. V?
I can hear you.
Good. I want to make sure people understand a couple things as we proceed. Number one, and Dr. V knows this because we tried hard. It appears that the reason we have to make Dr. V look like Max Headroom is because, though he's much better looking than Max Headroom, but you really should check out the TV series. It's great. Is it appears to be a YouTube issue, right, Dr. V? We were really working on it last weekend. And it just, we tried every angle with other phones and everything. So we're going, hey, Spartacus, how are you? We love you. So I'm going to be trying to get into YouTube and see if I can find out what the problem is. But that's what it is. But he is cute, isn't he? I say right on. Number two, all right, but that's it. It's not a technical issue. It's that. Mike's with us. Hey, Mike, how you doing? And I love Spartacus. I love Mike. I love everyone. We're just rocking. So let's get started. I want to make sure we understand something about really what this video, what this live is. We invited in some people to look at how we do things, and this is what came back. And I'm going to make sure that people understand. I'm not going to tell you what came back. I'm going to tell you people understand how we approach this and how I do it. Number one, this is an opinion channel. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Joe and I give our opinions. That's what we do. You'll hear us. That's what we do based on fact. Number two, we're not moderators. I don't moderate, though at times with our great commentators, Joe is in there moderating, I'm in there moderating with the mosh pit, so we moderate them, but that's not our focus. Our focus is telling you what we think and then hope that we get back to good responses, which we do, and we love left wing, right wing, middle wing, we don't care. Just lay it on us, tell us what you think, and we talk with everyone, okay? We also try to give you the facts. Not little things, you call them anecdotes, you do this and that, people try to come and play with it. We are dealing with what's going on in the world and how it goes. If I am wrong and give a fact that I think is a fact and incorrect, I'm wide open to being corrected. If Dr. V is wrong, and I've never known him to be wrong, if Dr. V is wrong, he is open to being corrected. So that's where we are here. We're wide open, but you know we're going to tell you our opinion. Most of the times we're going to feel one way, other times we're going to surprise you and feel otherwise. Joe and I were just going at it for the last 10 minutes. I'm telling you, you should get us beforehand. That's half the fun, is us beforehand just going at it, right, Joe? I mean, wow. But we were going at it. But I want to make sure we stand with all that and go. I'm going to start going through some issues, try to stay a little bit organized because it's easier for everyone, but there's so much going on. I want to hit it hard. Thank you all for coming in once again. We're about to hit some of our issues. Here we go. ICE. I don't know. The question is America still great, Joe? That's what our title is. Is the greatness of America still there, or have we lost that greatness? That's the question. And this is what we're going to dump into. Let's look at some of the facts and things that are going on here in America. We have our president saying that he may invade Latin American countries, that he may invade Mexico. He has talked about going after the cartels. Does that make America great? Where's America first? Why would we invade other countries? These are kind of issues I'm putting out there. Invasion. If we go into Mexico, we attack the cartels. You don't think the cartels are going to come back and come after us in some way? You don't think people on the border are going to get hurt? What are we talking about? We don't start invading or attacking our neighbors. It doesn't make sense. What about our $175 billion ICE with the private federal police force? Does that make us great? If you see the ads, Joe, they said be bro ads. It's be bro ads. And they're offering like 50 grand. This is to be a person who can put on a mask and act in the name of immigration. Everything is under the guise of immigration. So if they pick Joe up, it's because he came over and illegally immigrated from Italy. If they pick me up, it's because I illegally immigrated from Eastern Europe or wherever we came from many moons ago. That's what's going on. And now you're seeing that they're offering $50,000 bonuses. They're saying no age, no credentials, no real educational credentials. They're trying to steal them away from local police departments. Look what's going on. We are building up a federal private police force for Donald Trump. Does that make America great? Does it make America great seeing the troops and a private police force with masks walking up and down the streets? Do your policemen wear masks? Mine don't. I don't want my policemen to wear masks. But these people aren't policemen. They're a private police force to go to pick up anybody they want to pick up if they think you look wrong or they got something. Maybe you're the wrong color. Maybe you think wrong. Maybe your eyes are too shady. Get them, pick them up, and they are so proud of it. How about the economy? Let's get into the economy. This is where Joe gets on me a little bit because this is pretty major. This economy is in trouble. Joe at least admitted, well, not at least, he was cool. He admitted last week that he said that I called stagflation coming in. He thinks he sees stagflation. Joe will talk with you. Joe is a data expert. Joe will sit down and work numbers with you all day and all night. This is what we were arguing about when we came on. Me, numbers work, but numbers are numbers. It's how you feel. If you dig down deep in the numbers, people go, oh, they don't want to hear about it. But if you're up and you understand certain numbers, people understand it. I went to the store the other day. I went to the grocery store the other day. Okay? That gets them. You see this? It gets them. I went to the grocery store. You guys go to the grocery store? You can't tell me that the prices aren't through the roof. Tomatoes, $5. This is non-organic. We talked about this the other day. 5 apples and nuts, $15. You go there, buy 5 or 6 things, it's $50, $60. You got to buy it in bulk to be able to afford it. How are you going to be able to maintain all the fresh fruits and vegetables when Trump is picking up all the people who are picking that stuff, who are taking it, and he's shipping them back by getting in a Penske automobile, and they're so proud that they were able to do the Trojan horse. Wasn't that great? Get in and sneak in and bring the people in. That's what's going on. The economy, there's inflation everywhere. He's cooking the books. Last week, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS, came out, as you all know, with it changed the amount of people who are unemployed. Said it's much higher. Trump has a heart attack. Hey, it never happened before. It's always against me. It's like, if you can't be good, it's against me. Meanwhile, when the numbers were loving him the last few months, he was talking about how it was the greatest economy of all time. People tend to forget that. But then he goes and he fires the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, let's remember something. Not anecdotes. Trump has fired so many federal employees. You're telling me unemployment isn't going to go up? You're telling me there aren't people looking for jobs? Of course there are. That's not an anecdote. The fact is that they paid so many people up till I think the middle of September. You can't apply for unemployment insurance until then. But at the same time, you're getting people who are starting to lose their jobs. AI is putting people on the street. You read AI. AI's not going away. Who needs interns when you've got AI? I don't mean a doctor intern, you have to have hands-on right now, but who needs interns? Who needs to bring in people to do the basic work that young people come in and learn to be able to grow and be able to get jobs? It's all going out the door. It's going out faster than we can see. At the same time, our taxes are being raised like crazy because the tariffs are bringing in all this tax money. Really, we're paying for it, or our businesses are paying for it, which means it's coming out of our pockets. And Trump's talking about giving us money back like he's doing us a deal. That money should be going towards the budget deficit. Why are you even talking about this? But it's taxes. Of course prices are going up. They have shown numbers. It's across the board. Go buy home improvement. Go buy clothes. Clothing is through the roof. I can't believe what it costs for a pair of pants. No, it isn't emotion. It's actually going out, taking your credit card and putting it down and going, my gosh, I can't believe how much it costs. You go for an entree for a nice little restaurant, nothing incredible, but a nice one now. I don't mean an entree, an appetizer, it's going to cost you double figures. $13, $14. Appetizers are supposed to be small things, like maybe for $5 or $6 that got you ready for the entree. Just another anecdote, right? No, it's reality, because everybody knows if you go to the store and you're a restaurant, you're paying so much more now than you did before. Now, this is what you're going to hear from our data expert, because he is a data expert. He's going to say, well, it's up 2.7. Here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. Let me throw this out. Let's remember something. When prices go up, prices don't go down. So it is an ongoing inflation that doesn't go away. So if they raise the price for an entree 10%, and then you hear, oh, it was only 3% later, it's 13%. And it doesn't go down. You're now paying that 13% more. That's what's happening. So it doesn't like, oh, all of a sudden, because they didn't raise the price the next month, inflation went down. No, inflation is embedded. And when you go out and you buy things, you know how much is embedded. It's crazy. It's so expensive out there, and it's going to get a whole lot worse. Let's hit another couple of things that are just so good about what's going on, and then we'll just, because I like popping. And then, no, I'm going to hold back. Wait a second, I'm going to hold back. I'm going to come to this, and then I'm going to go to Joe. Are we not men? We are devolution. They have decided to put Confederate names back on the forts that we have, and Confederate names on ships, on our battleships, whatever kind they are, and take off other names. So you talk about like Fort Bragg. You know Fort Bragg? Everybody's heard Fort Bragg. Isn't that right? Right, Joe? Well, let me tell you something. Braxton Bragg was not only a Confederate general, but he was horrible. Nobody wanted to fight under him because they knew he'd die. And that's the name we put on there. So think about it. He was a Confederate. He led a fight against the government of the United States of America, and he was horrible. And that's on our big camp for our army. What a great name. Meanwhile, at the same time, they want to take off the name of Harriet Tubman and Thurgood Marshall off the boats. Harriet Tubman, who fought to bring the slaves to the North to help them become free. Thurgood Marshall, a U.S. Supreme Court justice, and an excellent one, and an excellent attorney. And you want to take those names off American ships and put on Confederate generals? I don't understand these people. That's not history. History's in the books. It doesn't belong enshrined on America's ships, on America's fighting ships, or on in the middle of any streets in this country. That is Devo. Joe, I'm taking a breath. Please give us thumbs up. I'm gonna jump into the mosh pit right after Joe. I just got worked up. But I threw a lot at you. We're open for that, and we got a whole lot more to go. Things are happening in this country. Is America great? Have we lost America's greatness? You tell us what you think. Joe, what do you think?
What I think is that what made this country great was that we were able to accept people from all religions, all nationalities into this country and put together a great stew that was very productive, that people cared about each other, that people worked together, and we looked at facts. We didn't base decisions just on emotion. We didn't just base decisions based on our politics, but we had certain agreed upon principles that we worked toward. And part of those principles included reliance on real data, real facts.
Mr.
And
Joker.
that's why the federal government has Bureau of Labor Statistics, has other agencies which give unbiased data so that we can prepare for threats, domestic and foreign, that we can put together a plan to help make America great. And what I see, and my biggest concern, isn't the politics of the names of the ships. I don't care what the names of the ships are, to be honest with you. That's more performative than anything else. But what I care about is an attack based on facts and data. That, when it comes to making decisions about vaccines, about, medical decisions, it's not based on what the experts say. And the experts presumably are basing their opinion on real data, real facts. It's based on your politics. If you like Trump, then you don't get a vaccine. Why should a medical decision be based on who you voted for? And
Ralph.
what I'm really concerned about is that, even when it comes to basic economic data like unemployment, like inflation, that those numbers are going to be tainted now because the people who announced those numbers are now afraid that they're going to be fired if they give us the wrong numbers. And that's what I'm concerned about. Again, the country has lived through recessions, lived through all, even depressions. We've lived through these things. But what got us out of them was that we depended on real data, real facts. And I'm concerned that we're losing that. You talk about Devo, you talk about 1984. In 1984, there was a department, a Ministry of
Truth.
Ministry of Truth. And basically it was a complete misnomer because it would just put out propaganda. Well, Truth Social seems to be our Ministry of Truth today. And I'm really upset about that and concerned about that if we can't agree upon certain facts, then we're not going to be able to move forward and prepare. And, we talk about the price of groceries going to the store and that sort of thing. And that's a good, really interesting observation. But the way I look at it is that if we're going to be able to convince people that inflation is occurring, it's important that we depend on objective data. It's not just one sample. And I agree with you, Mark, in terms of going out. I went out to dinner over the weekend and it was incredibly expensive. But I'm not putting that all on Trump's door. I'm not saying all inflation is related to the tariffs or related to his policies, but inflation has been with us throughout our entire life. And so what I want to do is, how does inflation compare today with what it's been historically? And right now, where we disagree is that according to the data that I have, inflation rate is about 2.7%.
Embedded. If you forget the embedded.
Around 2.5%, 2%.
But you're not talking embedded, Joe, and you're walking away from that issue because you build a foundation higher and higher, right?
I understand it's gone up year over year, 2.5%. But if you already start high, then it really hurts when it goes up 2.5%.
Right.
Yeah, and so I agree 100% with that point, but you're using that as an example of why Trump is doing a bad job as president.
Right.
Yeah, and that's your point. Now, that's the part that's not necessarily justified by facts. That there may be a variety of factors going on that are why the inflation is at 2.7% that have nothing to do with this policy.
You know why facts don't matter, Joe?
When people on the right will go after Joe Biden and the inflation was like 9%, which is incredibly high and disruptive. But you have to take a little bit more of a nuanced view that the inflation was high in the Biden administration, partly because it was suppressed during COVID. And as we recovered from COVID, there was a lot of demand for goods. And we had gone through a period where we weren't producing goods. And so when you have a lot of demand and few goods, you're going to get inflation. And that was not Joe Biden's fault.
You're missing, but you're missing.
Put on his.
Cool, but that's.
Just make the same.
Okay. Go ahead.
I just don't want to make the same point that now it's all Trump's fault. It may turn out to be Trump's fault. And maybe we will see how the effects of the tariffs are causing increases in inflation. And that may, and I agree that we have storm clouds on the horizon. And we need to be aware of that, but we also need to have actual good objective data to support that.
We've got none. I'm with you, but it's gone. The books are cooked. Trump fired the guy, the woman, and then put out these charts that don't mean anything. Look, let me use. Let me wait. Let me use an example, Joe. Data is meaningless. The bottom line is simple. Why did Biden lose the election? Biden lost the election. His data was looking good there a lot of the time. There was a lot of good stuff. He was out pushing it, calling Bidenomics. But he lost the election, didn't he, Joe? He lost the election because people didn't want to hear what the numbers said. The numbers mean look, Trump had lost hundreds of thousands of people to death during COVID. He was reelected, wasn't he? Isn't death more important? I mean, let's look how it works. So the bottom line is that his numbers were looking good the last 2 years. They were looking good. We had the best economy in the world. We were doing well. People had jobs. There was no unemployment issues. Wait a second. Time out. That's not the point. The point is that the numbers were looking good for Biden, but he lost the election. And he not only was he totally out of it, and we said he was going to lose it, but he lost the election because people didn't want to hear the numbers. That's the point you're missing. Today, the numbers mean nothing. What people know are what they feel when they go to the store. What people know are what they feel when they go out and they have to spend money. What they know is when they can't take vacations and they're all taking staycations. That's what people know, and that's what people feel. And the only thing keeping this economy up are rich people. Not regular people, but rich people. Because if you look at the numbers, it's like 50% of the consumer stuff is people or it's like 10% of the people out there. That's where the numbers come in. So it gets skewed. Regular people are getting whacked. And you can hear them, you can see it on here, the commentators, and you can feel it and see what's going on out there. Nobody, you can give me 2.7, 10 point this, 11. I go out there and I know how much it is. You want to buy a car, you know it's out of your number. You know, like the average car now is like 15, 20 years old. That's reality. It's not an anecdote. I love you. When things are going good, numbers matter. But in politics, they're meaningless. The only numbers that matter are the numbers that get put out there that people feel and they know. And in this country and in this world right now, it's all emotion. And that's where people, and they want to hear that.
What do people think? Do numbers matter, or is it just feelings? And I would say, there's the issue of how do you convince people that your side is right, and maybe feelings are more important.
I don't have to convince them. I don't have to convince them.
Numbers and facts, or your feelings?
I think it's a great question, but I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm telling them what I think. And all I know is let me ask you, Joe, is Trump a fact person or a feelings person? Tell me. Joe?
Very much a feelings person.
That's all. And then who runs this country?
Well, he's the president for sure.
He's more than the president. Who has threatened to take patents from Harvard?
That would be Trump.
Right. Who has withheld money from everybody? Who has required payoffs from certain law firms that didn't have the backbone to stand up? That's emotion, Joe. That's emotion in action.
So what's the alternative? More emotion to play the same game?
You have to know the alternative is
way of looking at the world.
No, you sit back and you take those facts that are out there that people understand and you run with them. He is president of the United States. Presently, as president of the United States, if you go out there and you buy a lot of food, you buy clothes, you're paying up the wazoo. And if you're a regular person and you're not making $250,000 or $300,000 and you don't have millions behind you, you can't do it. Look what's going on. The credit card companies are having, I think, like $1,000 credit cards, like super black credit cards for the super people to spend the money right on. I'm happy they made it. But are they putting money back into the economy? Are they sitting there helping people? No. And that's what we're missing. So we have this going on. You're asking me, I'm not going to stop, Joe.
The same thing in 2022.
No, wrong. We gained, Joe. You're wrong, Joe. Joe, they just passed the big, Joe, they just passed, you're not looking just at inflation. They just passed the big, beautiful bill, right? And the big, beautiful bill were tax cuts for who? Were they for regular people? No. They were for big people, the rich people. You got to put it all together, Joe. When you're tearing apart a country, and you're saying, I'm going to change all the rules, and I'm going to stop being friends with our friends, and I'm going to make everybody kneel to me, and I'm going to roll over to others like Putin, and I'm going to just put crypto in my pocket and try to help people. We haven't gotten into crypto. We're going to get into that. And all I'm doing is helping my rich friends because I get up there and have those rich friends come to the White House or wherever. Who's going to pay for this big ballroom? You don't think it's going to be more rich friends? That's where we are. It's not a matter of this number or that number. Data is gone. The only data that matters is the elections and what they're trying to do now with the gerrymander in the Republican in Texas with the 5 new congressional seats and where they're trying to do it in other places. But that's not the real issue here. The issue is numbers are being cooked. So the people who have the money keep the money and make more and more and more. And the people who are struggling to make it happen are getting whacked. AI is going to take those people out. And I'm going to tell you this, Joe. People forget this. We talked about this years ago with Hillary. When they knocked coal out of West Virginia, which was a great move, you had to because of the black lung, did they do anything for the miners to get them re-educated or to get a new job or retrained? No. That's what's going on here, and that's what's going to lead.
What was that?
Wait a second. I'm using that as an example. That's what's happening now. Nobody's preparing these people for AI. They're showing these kids coming out of graduate schools of business can't get jobs. People are out there, they're just getting rid of the lower level jobs because AI is going to do it. You and I talked about all the robots that are going to be in all the car manufacturing. How long ago did you and I talk about that? Say, great, bring it home so we can have the Robot Employment Act. I mean, that's where it is. So people are getting snowed. I don't see anybody talking about how we're going to make sure that these people are get ready so they can get jobs. I don't see any of that. You see, I'm seeing all this, and I see regular people getting smacked. But before we go any further, we love our viewers. Thank you all for being here. Joe thanks you. I thank you. Please give us thumbs up. Please, we love your comments. I'm about to jump into the mosh pits. Don't you like it? Joe and I are going at it 55 years. The man. He's the man. I just love him. Bottom line is, we love what you're saying. We just believe in America. We love America. We're just making it happen. Please go to Just an American Citizen, subscribe. I've been on for over 10 years. If I'm wrong, tell me where it is. Joe, where are you now, Joe? What's your new site? Joe.
Dr. V. Joe Speaks.
Okay, I want him to say it. So Dr. V, we got to get him some subscribers. He's always complaining about how he's going to change the site name.
But have any links in your information?
But you won't change the name. You said there are too many Dr. V's. So that's the problem. You're going to change the name, right? Weren't you going to be like the Fantastic Four or something? I didn't know. So when are you going to change that name? Fantastic Four is Dr. V or something like that. Let me hop in here, okay? Let's see what we got. The Joker, being able to say what you think, that's right on, Joker. The shot goes through the FDA. Look, the vaccine didn't have to go through a 5-year trial. We had people dying. We had hundreds of thousands of people dying, Mr. Joker. And we had a president who was a joker the way he handled it, admitted he lied to everybody. That was different, okay? Totally different. And our mRNA, what is it? Or what is it? Our DNA, or what is it, Joe? Really works. Hold on.
Messenger DNA.
Messenger DNA. Bobby Brainworms, he is. Anybody who goes there, remember, Kennedy, who's our big guy, went into a polluted stream and put his head underneath and took his grandchildren with him. What a head of HHS he is.
Well,
you don't think that we know inflation, Terry?
A little more nuanced view.
I'm going through this. Terry, you don't think that we know inflation is occurring? You do see it, don't you, Terry? Everybody see it. One man can't fix it, can make it all go to him, even if he can't fix anything for us. Ralph, I agree. One person can't fix anything. Is there a new way of hiding the cost of living increase? Sure is, they'll show zero on the inflation. Deferred debt to younger generations, and it's still going, Mr. Joker. In fact, it just got raised $4 trillion as for deferred debt. Right on. I love these messages. Okay, with owning assets, can't own anything anymore. They're renting. You're renting, Yoel, as you know, we've been talking about that. One of the reasons they're renting is because all these homes are being owned by the big guys and now by the little guys, and it's hard to do it. So you're locked into your lease. Remember, there's hundreds of thousands of homes for sale out there. The issue is, are you prepared to pay the interest rate, and will you take the chance? I was just in a big county down the road here. Big money, everybody is cooking. Well, now with what's going on in the business, they're afraid to sell their homes. They can't sell them. I'm seeing lines of for sale signs. They can't sell them. Joe, in a major community, service community, people who work for companies, big time, they're starting to try to sell their house. They're unable to do it. It's starting to back up. We're starting to see what's going on out there. It's not good. Ralph, it's whoever's media is whoever's media. I don't agree with the right-wing media, but hey, they know how to get it across. They say 3 words and they have their people go rabid. Okay, here we go. Well, wait and see. Ralph, Spartacus, Ralph, we got our Buzz. Thank the UAW. Buzz, remember something. It's not just the UAW. They had to make a deal with the car manufacturers. It creates, well, I don't know. We're not giving Democrat. I don't care what party we're talking about. We're with all parties here. True emotional intelligence, not acting like emotion is just some willy-nilly thing. Unfortunately, UL, it's become that because the way Joe thinks was yesterday. It used to be the way we thought. We don't think about this anymore. Thank you, Mello. We love you. Billy Bald DeComo. Look, Billy Bad DeComo is back, I see. I don't know. Come over. No, it's real. It's real. I tell you guys, he's got incredible testosterone. That's why he doesn't have any hair on his head. That's testosterone, man. Me, this is real. I don't have much. I got real color. I'm happy I have some color. And look, there's the gray. And I got some hair. I get it cut every night.
You don't use any color, Mark?
I'm sorry?
You don't use any color?
Yeah, right. There's my gray. Look, there's my gray. See?
My God.
I got my gray wings. Like I have any say in it. I got something to do with this hair. I got it. It's the genes. What can I tell you? I'm happy I got it. I ain't complaining. It's real. It's there. I wouldn't put glue on there. Anyway, you think it'd make this mug look any better if I put hair or a wig or anything on there? It wouldn't work. Or plugs. It wouldn't work. Okay, here we go. Middle class. Yeah, let me go. Here, who said this now? About Trump? Somebody said something about Trump. The middle class did well. Yeah, but remember how many hundreds of thousands of people died under Trump, guys? Can anybody remember that? They can't remember it. Let's go hit a couple other things while we're doing this, while we're having a good time. Crypto. Now, Joe knows how I feel about crypto. But let's look at what's going on. Trump is not only, it doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, if it's Ethereum or Doge or whatever any of them are. Crypto is a gambling piece. That's all it is. But what is now starting to happen, Joe, remember I told you I was worried, it's going to undermine the American dollar. The American dollar, which the whole world's economy was underpinned by, which helped us so that we got cheaper prices when we bought things that were sold to us so that we could do it, so we could have more employees, more people working here doing service work, which sent incredible amount of services out that we got paid for that Trump doesn't add in. But we have that going on. So we're sitting there and I'm sorry, Joe. Okay, so my concern is this. There's all these regulations. Banks have regulations. Why? Joe talked about the Depression. I can tell you, Joe and I weren't around during the Depression, but we know about it because our grandparents went through it, and we heard about it, okay? And one of my grandfathers sold cigarettes, I think, for a penny a piece or something. I used to hear the stories. Wow, okay? Different world then. But the reason there were regs on banks is because there were lines. You look at the pictures, there were lines out the door. You couldn't get your money. There was no government insurance. There was nothing. We kind of had a mini one here in Maryland years ago, and the Maryland insurance had to go under, and everybody had to go federal. But it's because there were rules, so your money was free and clear, and you could walk in and get it. And if something happened, you had some type of a guarantee. Crypto, what's your guarantee? You remember Sam Bankman-Fried, the guy with the crazy hair, Joe? The crypto king? All those billions that disappeared? I think they found most of it. But that's what happens when there's no regs. You just throw your money into crypto and you got a problem. Okay, so I say generally, you want to have crypto, you get crypto. But now they're saying you can do it, you can put it into your 401k. Joe, they said that. They said that if you want to buy a home from Fannie and to get a Fannie or Freddie loan, Fannie and Freddie are going public. How long ago did I talk about that, Joe? How long did I warn about that? They're talking about going public now, but Fannie and Freddie accept crypto as money down or as an asset. Let me ask you something. If crypto goes up and down, what's the price? If you put up crypto and you want to buy your creditor, do you want to take crypto or you want to take the dollar? So all of a sudden what's going to start happening is people are going to be pumping cash into the crypto. They're already doing it. They think they can hide it. Everybody thinks they can make money. They talk about it all the time. It's hurting the American dollar because it takes money away, but they think it's hidden, but it isn't, because you got guys like Sam Bankman-Fried and the other guy from Binance, all these guys who ran with the money. If there's no regulations, what do you think's going to happen? Zero regs. More people make more money. The president of the United States is on top of the pyramid with making crypto money, he and his family, and it just rolls from there. It's just going to get bigger and bigger. No regs. What happens, Joe, when a big money game gets bigger and bigger and bigger and there are no regs? What happens at the end? Do you think you and I can agree about what happens at the end of one of those?
Well, I mean, you're setting things up for fraud. If there's no oversight.
Massive.
And this ties back to what we were talking about earlier with respect to data. A dollar is based on the full faith of the government. it's not based on gold anymore. You can't trade in a dollar bill for something that's really worth something like gold. And what makes gold valuable is that it's a limited resource. And so when you have a currency that's based on faith, and then you do things that purposely undermine faith in that, you're going to devalue that unit of currency. And so, and you're right that crypto is such a volatile asset that if you buy crypto coins today, you don't know what it's going to be worth a year from now, or 5 years from now,
or tomorrow,
or even exist,
or tomorrow.
And so there's very little faith in it, and it's likely that people are going to benefit are the people who are, you're right, investing in it, and the people who are going to be hurt the most are the people who assume that the dollars that they put in crypto are still going to be worth something when they try to buy something with it, and you're taking a huge risk.
You sure are.
It's a dangerous thing. If you want to dabble in crypto, that's fine, but I wouldn't put my IRA in it. I wouldn't trust that when it's time to retire, it's going to be worth something. Now, it might be worth something. It might be worth a lot. But you're right. You are taking a gamble because there's no tangible asset that it's tied to.
Right. And
can anyone explain to me how you mine for crypto coins? How that works?
They do it on computer, but it doesn't matter. That's Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's computer. Can anybody say that if I own X number of shares of Bitcoin, it's worth something tangible? Where's the connection?
Well, you could sell it today for $118,000. The thing is, what they're trying to build, Joe, is something called stable coins. Now, stable coins are having the crypto coin attached to a dollar so that you put it out, that coin would be called, I assume, stable because it would be attached to the dollar. And that's where Ethereum seems to be the big talk right now. That's assuming that the money is always there to back it up. You know what I'm saying? It's the same type of a thing, but that's called stable coin. But let me give you a different way to look at it, okay? Because to me, I've always looked at Fannie and Freddie Mac. As you all know, Fannie and Freddie Mac is the underpinning of our housing and our loans and our credit out there. And I've been scared to death, as I've been telling you guys for the last year with Joe, it's going to go public and we're going to have a problem. Well, Trump has announced it's going to go public. Let's understand what's going on. And part of the problem before even that, they have said that Fannie and Freddie, or whoever the regulator is, has said, Putin has said that they're going to accept crypto, some type of crypto, as assets. So if you want to put 20% down, which is basically the way it is now, and I'm only talking generally, okay, because I don't know all the specifics. I don't know if all the specifics are there yet. But if you want to get a Fannie Mae loan, you put 20% down. So if your house costs $300,000, you got to put down 60 grand, okay? There it is. Now, they're saying they will take part of that in crypto. So say they take 10, I don't know what the limits are, but say they take 20,000 of that in crypto. Right? That's 1/3 of the 60. Is that correct, Joe? Am I okay numbers wise? You with me? Good. So what happens if crypto collapses? Because it does. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. And these people go to sell their house. And suddenly this money which was put down to Fannie Mae or to the bank is worth nothing. Or that 20,000 of crypto is now worth 5,000. The United States, full faith and credit, is standing behind that home loan. That person who put up that crypto. The United States, full faith and credit, yours and mine, the taxpayers, are standing behind that loan that these people are putting up crypto for to buy the house. Now, the crypto, which has no regulation and could end up being all air, and which coin are we talking about? There's like 100 coins, isn't there? There's Solana, there's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum, there's Doge. What else is there? Wolf? I don't know. They got all these different, there's Trump. I don't know. They got all these different ones. If you can put these kind of Bitcoins, these kind of crypto coins down, and they're worthless, or they go down and drop in half, Bitcoin does it all the time. Look at its record. That's not an anecdote. It goes up, it goes down. When it goes down, it's violent. And if people want to, if it happens when houses are going down in value, if crypto is backing up the value of those houses, that means the United States is going to have less money behind them to back up those houses. So those loans could go bad faster, and we end up eating it. We end up eating it when crypto goes out. And goes up as collateral. And remember this too. They're talking about making Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac private. Why do you think that's happening? They'll tell you, I think you get all these billions of dollars. Well, right now, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are pumping cash into the budget. But who's going to make the money, Joe? I know it's a tough question, Joe. It's a trick question. Who's going to make the money when Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac come public and the stock that's already out there gets sold?
I would imagine the owners of the Fannie Mae.
And I wonder if that is it. Well, that's America, which will make its chunk. But it's the rich people, all those people, hedge fund guys who bought it for $2, $1, $3 when it went under and have been pushing to make Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac private. Now, look about how this is going to happen because nobody knows for sure. I need thumbs up because this is stuff we got to look at. This is massive. If Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac go private, or is the United States going to stand behind and guarantee Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's bonds they put out there? They put out billions in bonds. Is the United States going to stand up and say, you want a Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac bond? I, the taxpayer, are going to stand up behind it. But at the same time, who's going to make the money? The rich people who are putting that stock in their pocket and running around. Why would the United States be guaranteeing a loan at Fannie and Freddie if it's private? What, it's going to be half private, half public again? How about if I tell you this, Joe? If it's that, it's Devo. It came out of that and went out of business because they were half public, half private. GSC, they were called government-sponsored enterprises. I don't know if they're called that anymore. I don't think they were. They were taken over. Understand this history. And the GSEs were public. You could buy the stocks, and it was implied that the United States would stand up behind it, but they always said, nah, we're private, we're private, we're private. Then kaboom, the housing crisis smashed. Fannie and Freddie went under, and who came up with the bread? You and me. And who bought their stock? The big boys, the smart ones, the ones that knew that the Trumpers were going to come around one day. I don't mean Trump, somebody who's going to love it and want to be able to take it and make them rich, even richer than they are. You aren't going to make it. I ain't going to make it. Most people aren't going to make it. So what are they going to do now? Go back to half public, half private again, just like when they were GSEs, and go, well, we're going to guarantee it, but we're making a lot of money. We're already making a lot of money. We don't need it. Goodbye housing. It's going to destroy housing. We're going to have no 30-year loans unless there's a full guarantee by the U.S. government. Goodbye 30-year home loans. Did you get a 30-year home loan on your first loan, Joe?
Did I get it? Yeah.
A 30-year? And it didn't adjust the mortgage. It didn't adjust the interest rates, did it? Well, it's going to be here. It's going to be 5 years, 10 years. You're going to start seeing it because they're destroying it. They're going to just put it and take it and rip it apart. I've been yelling about Fannie and Freddie for the longest time, and that's going to pile onto the economy too. It's just Wild West now. Everything's being ripped apart. Everything is ripped apart. The question is, how's it coming back together? And that's what makes it so tough. I have said for years, we're at the end of the American century. I've got it on there on Just an American Citizen. Look at it. I've been talking about it for the longest time. Joe saw it. Joe's been talking about it. We are in a new world right now, an absolutely new world. And to sit back and say, well, this piece of the economy is okay and that piece is okay, meaningless. It's an overall, you've got to look at what's going on in the world right now. We have ripped away from our allies. We have no allies. If you look, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, they're all trying to make deals with China and other countries, not make deals with us. Japan's doing it. Everybody's trying. These were companies that would always make deals with us, but they don't trust us anymore. We're going to lose that over the long term. We are pumping out crypto with no regulation. You don't think that's going to be a bubble? Talk about tulips. Look up tulips. When all you're doing is buying something and there's no regulation, then look up a picture, and it's only in black and white then, of the lines outside all the banks that people never got their money back from. And then take a picture of Sam Bankman-Fried and remember where that takes you. You want to gamble? Fine. 401ks? Money to buy a house, to get a loan? Who are we kidding? We've got all that going on. Now we got one more big problem I'm worried about. I want to throw this other thing in fast. You talk Taco with Trump and the economy? Nah. Taco Trump is Putin. He's done everything he can to help Putin destroy Ukraine. Everything he can. He's got no backbone. He's a taco with Putin. You can say what you want. Taco, taco, taco. Has nothing to do with the economy. It's only with Putin. He's afraid of him. Now he's meeting with them again in Alaska. Putin's getting everything he wants every day. He's bombarding, destroying Ukraine, and Trump doesn't care because something's going on there. He either just loves the guy or it's taco. I don't know. But to keep putting out fake deadline after fake deadline after fake deadline shows nothing. No backbone, just shows people being afraid. I wanted to throw that out. But let's get to Texas, okay? Texas, I'm bummed about. 5 new congressional districts are trying to put out there, and Trump's trying to push it. Now, let's understand. I want to pull it back to the big argument that I'm talking about, the destruction of America. What Trump is doing, and I've been saying this, is separating our country into blue and red. It's the civil, he wants to see a civil type war politically. De-evolution. He's doing everything he can to take us back. Does it with HHS, health, does it with this, does it with housing, and now he wants to take us back with Texas to split our great country apart. That's why I'm wondering where our greatness is going to be. How can you do this? Why would Texas want to do this? Look, you don't change the numbers, your census numbers, the year before the election. The Democrats can't compete. I'm hearing people say the Democrats should do it. The Democrats should do it. No way. The Democrats are too dumb. They can't do it because years ago, like in our state, they put together these laws that said you could only do a gerrymander and be fair about it. So they tried to get rid of all the Republicans. The court said you couldn't do it. Knocked it out. You got the same thing in California. You got the same thing kind of in New York, but you don't have it in Indiana. You don't have it in Ohio. You don't have it down in Texas, so you shouldn't do it. What you should do, you can't fight with them over this. This is where data and the numbers and the truth comes in. This is where you fight them. You go into Texas, you say, hey, you think your vote means anything? They're ripping you guys off. 5 more, 5 you're doing. They should have a couple guys sitting there talking. Couple Democrats just making trouble. We can't stand for this anymore, Joe. This guy is breaking our country apart. So my answer to the title of our live stream is, yes, we are losing our greatness. Still a great country, and I love our country, and I love all of our commentators. Looks like we're doing pretty good down there, Joe. But to do this, to separate our country, look at our president. Listen to him. He lays jive out there, and he's doing everything he can to make people hate one another. Why do we want to hate one another? We have enough people hating us outside this country. We have to start coming together. We just have to look at each other, understand we're Americans. Try this. When you're walking down, if you're into a different state and you don't think your politics works there, put on their football hat. Put on their baseball team hat. Everybody will love you. It doesn't matter what you think then because you like the team. Isn't that amazing? I can walk down the street, wear my Ravens hat, and we're all buds. Doesn't matter what we say about politics, but we're buds because we love the Ravens. No different than the Eagles or the Phillies or the O's or any of the Pirates or any of the other teams. The Yanks, the Mets. Ugh, I don't mind the Mets. My problem's with the Yanks. So you go, you look at this, and you go, wow, why are we being separated? Why aren't we one? Why are we letting this man split us apart? And where are the people in Congress to stand up and say, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to do it the way I can win. And the way you win is you flood into Texas and you start talking in those areas and you start talking to the people and you start saying, look what your governor's doing to you. This is the guy who lets your energy fall apart. This is the guy who let Uvalde happen. This is the guy that you get in there and you take it on. But that's politics. I don't want to get involved in politics. I just threw that out. I'm sorry. It's natural. Bottom line problem is it's separating our country. I don't care what you believe. I want you to believe we love our country. Don't believe that another state's horrible because you don't agree with them. Don't believe that. This is America. I'm just an American citizen because I love this country. That was before Trump started. That's before Trump was hugging the flag. I love it here. I love Old Glory. I love what I've learned. I love our history. We cannot let this leader set us apart. He does it every day and pops us apart. Joe, I got nothing else to say. I'm coming back to you, Joe. Well, okay, I'm sorry.
Wow. I agree 100% with what you're saying. That it's one country. We need to respect each other. We need to try to understand each other, and we need to work together to solve the issues that we have. And that includes everything from immigration to the economy to dealing with foreign policy. And you're right. It seems like our current president is interested more in splitting us up than having us work together. Now, I can't say the Democratic Party is clothed in glory in this issue either.
No.
So, I mean, it's both parties tend to look out for their own self-interest. And again, what's happening in Texas, he's trying to, control how people vote. It's I thought the people are supposed to pick the politician, not the politicians pick the people. But the Democrats have done the same thing. It's just they usually wait for every 10 years when the census is done.
That's what the Constitution says, Joe.
And that's what the Constitution says. I mean, I guess Trump goes by the Bill Belichick school of coaching that if you're not cheating, you're not trying. That you push the envelope as far as
that's what he does.
And that's what he's doing. And then the question is, how do we respond to that? How do the Democrats respond to that? It's like they're bringing a casserole to a knife fight. That they want, they're promoting that you should do things fairly, and the other side is promoting do what you can to win the election.
Joe?
I mean, what do you think they should do? Should they fight by doing the same thing in California, or
no,
stay away from Texas so the vote doesn't go through? How should they respond?
You can't win there. Remember, I was telling you the laws are different in these blue states. It doesn't. Number one, there aren't enough seats to change.
It's different in Maryland, but I think
no, it is. They need a vote to change the way it is in California to be able to do it. California's the same way. New York, if you look at these states, they believed in, like you said, doing it right. So they had separate groups separate committees or whatever that made a decision and did it, and the courts backed it up. But to me, I don't worry about what the Republicans are doing. Well, if anybody, I'm not just talking Democrats, I'm talking Americans. You go into Texas and start showing these people, the people who vote, that you care about them, and say, look how you're getting ripped off. These guys just think that they can move you into another district and your vote means nothing. That's what they should do. Your vote means something to me. If I was a politician in Texas, I'd be in those districts working like crazy now going, I'm not afraid of these guys. If the Republicans take you for granted, if the Republicans think that they can just move you around, right, let's beat them. Let's take them on and throw the bums out. You better believe it, and it could work. They just got to do it. Everybody cries. What wusses? Let me tell you something. You can say what you want about our generation. We weren't wusses. We stood up and said what we thought, and we're saying it here, and that's the bottom line, okay? You get down there and you start fighting for those votes, and you say to these people, your votes are worth something to me. That's what you do, Joe. That's what I think. Whether you're an independent or a Democrat or whatever you are, you make people know it, and you get down there and you say it, and you say that guy in D.C. isn't going to tell you what to do, and that guy in Austin isn't going to tell you what to do. You're going to do what you want to do. You're going to tell them that they don't know what they're talking about, that you're Americans, you can vote, and you can say who the boss is. The boss is Americans, and we got to stand up together. Right, left, middle, I don't care where you are. We got to do it. Gosh, I'm getting worked up today, Joe. I'm sorry. I'm just getting all worked up. Woo! But I love this country, and it's so important that we do this right now.
Passionate. There's no, we need passionate people that are willing to stand up for what America stands up for. And I think the country's based on facts. It's based on knowledge. It's based on working together to solve issues. It's based on mutual understanding of this giant pot of various people and opinions that we have, and it comes together to create a beautiful stew. And it seems like there's some elements in the country right now that are interested in splitting us apart, and it's maybe for the political gain or whatever, or economic gain, but I don't think that's what this country's all about. At least it's not what I'm all about, what you're all about, and hopefully many of the people who are listening to us and watching us today.
I'm with you. Ma'am Donnie, I don't care about Ma'am Donnie. I don't live in New York. Florida houses canceled because the housing prices all jumped. That's what's happening, Yoel. It's happening everywhere. Cheryl, I have good connections, not the news. I don't know. I haven't seen you in here, but thank you for coming in. Tommy, hello. No more buy. Buy what? I mean, I like buying things. Okay, let's see here. What impact will Mandami have? None. In New York, it will. I have no idea otherwise. Anytime Television, I love you. Thank you. Cheryl, You'll be in shock when the truth comes out. About what? Are we talking about Epstein? I don't know. Epstein's is a cover-up. Come on, I'm not even talking about it today. What a waste. It's such a cover-up. They moved Ghislaine to this nice little club. They even call it a club. It's not a club. No jail's a club, but the club. And she's, hey, taking yoga, doing things. You know, she was just denied the chance to be able to train dogs. Some of prisoners can train dogs and make them like, what are they, care animals or whatever. They told her no. Man, that was tough. Ghislaine, what's going on? What's she putting out there? You know, she's only going to give Trump what he wants. Come on, what a setup that thing is. I'm going to leave that baby alone. I don't care anymore on her with that. Okay, such a fully disrespectful to world leaders he is. He's disrespectful to Americans. Okay? That's not what we want to represent us. Who is that there? Clifton. I love you, Clifton. Thumbs up, double thumbs to Clifton. How many houses sell at 120K? It just ain't happening at 120K. Brokers will cease to exist when exchanges switch to blockchain. What brokers are you talking? Oh, you're talking about like Coinbase broker. Coinbase is a brokerage, something like that. It may happen, but the problem is when they all go to blockchains, there's no regulation right now. If you tell me you got real regulation, Mega, right on. But if you don't have regulation, something to make sure that stable coins really work and are stable and there's backing and there's no more Sam Bankman-Frieds or Binances, yeah, I follow that stuff. Then it's cool. But until then, all it does is hurt us and make people gamble and put it into 401ks. It doesn't make any sense. Remember the runs of the Depression. Okay, well, you can't remember it, but look at the pictures. Spartacus, don't scrutinize, don't scrutinize Cheryl. She's okay. Cheryl, you're okay with us. I'm happy you're independent. Okay, here we go. Are we not men? Are we not men? Let me tell you. Did I flash it, Kevin? You better believe it. Are we not men? We are Devo, and that's the whole key. Are we not men? D-E-V-O, de-evolution. And this is going to take us, because I got to calm down, to our album of the week. Last week we were at Joe's. It was tremendous. We had a great time with Abbey Road. Today I'm going back to what I called the third takeoff of rock. The first takeoff was Elvis. Of course, Elvis wasn't. There's all the blues guys and everything, and women before then, including you had Chuck Berry and Little Richard. God, I love Little Richard. Good golly, Miss Molly. I listened to that all the time. He was so incredible. But the third, you had Elvis, and you had the Beatles, and then you had Psychedelia, which was Monterey, take off from there. And this is the group, even though the group that made it all happen was the Mamas, the Papas, the group that just embodied, along with the Dead, embodied that incredible love groove, but the music, the Jefferson Airplane. And this was their best album, Surrealistic Pillow. Though after Bathing at Baxter's was great. But here they are. Yorma and Jack went on to Hot Tuna. We all know Grace Slick. And then Spencer went nowhere. He was one of the lead singers, and Marty and, well, who was that? I always forget. Paul were lead singers, but Marty had this incredible voice. It's Love, Surrealistic Pillow. It was like, it makes you feel good. Now listen, great songs on here. You all know this song, Somebody to Love, huh? It broke them. Don't you want somebody to love? We all sang that song. She Has Funny Cars, Coming Back to Me, 3/5 of a mile in 10 seconds. What a great song. And Yorma just playing with that guitar. White Rabbit, Plastic Fantastic Lover. This was an album that just took the world over. This was Psychedelia. This was 1967. This was Monterey. This was San Francisco. This was great music. And note one thing, because I have to remind everyone. No alarm clocks allowed in the music. So we get this. Listen to the music. Music's great. It just takes you somewhere. Turn off the video. Listen to Surrealistic Pillow. Listen to the Jefferson Airplane's greatest hits. The music is just excellent. Whether you understand what the messages were there or not, it doesn't matter. It just feels so good. And you can listen to it and think good things. Think about how much fun things are when you're not being bothered by a screen. Think about how good the music sounds. No ads, no nothing. Just get into it. Lay back, go, yes, I'm there. And think about how great this country is and how lucky we are that we still live in this country and how we have to stand up now to make sure we save this greatness. And that's how I go. Thank you guys are the absolute greatest. We're going to be back Wednesday at 5. I can't make it without Dr. V. We're going to get him a new site. We got to get him a new channel, guys. That's where I'm going to leave it. Please send in recommendations for Dr. V's new channel's name. He doesn't come up with good names. I'm asking everyone. We need recommendations. Look, we got 203 here, Dr. V. We need recommendations for Dr. V's new channel name. We will take them in, okay, and look forward to it. Right, Dr. V? You got a problem with that?
No.
He's
So
like,
will people join the channel? That's the
well, they will. We got to have the name. They'll have a good thumbnail.
A link in the description.
Yeah, I'll do it, but nobody looks at. Let me tell you, nobody looks at links. What they look at is a good name and a good thumbnail. We're going to do that for Dr. V because we love him. I already have a thumbnail in mind I'm going to do for him. So we got So we're going to do it. Right on. Let me put it out there also. He gets disgusted with me.
There you go.
He gets discouraged with me. He thinks I'm a loon. He thinks I'm addicted to him, which is true. About the loon, I'm not too sure about. But let me tell you, we're so lucky we got this. To be able to live a life, as you can have really tough, horrible times. Horrible. But when you got your friends, you got everything. You got your friends and family, your health, you got it. You got it. And enjoy it. Go with it. Listen to the music while you do it. Listen to Devo. Airplane. But love what you got. Know what we've got. We got it good. And while you got it good, enjoy it. We look forward to seeing you all again. You guys are the greatest viewers we have. It's just incredible. Thank you all very much. And if you're square, we ain't there. We're going to see you Wednesday. Spartacus, we love you. We'll see you Wednesday at 5. Dr. V, and that's the way it is. Period. We'll see you Wednesday at 5. Check out Just American Citizen and Dr. V Joe Talks. See you then.